Hi guys, I'm Shivam. I'm currently a senior ML engineer here at SciSpace, and I'm currently in a team that is building SciSpace agents. And I was at the forefront for building out, as Deepak mentioned, the AI detector that we have, as well as the biomedical agent, which is why we are here today. What we have for the agenda is mainly that we'll go through the SciSpace agents. What is SciSpace? If I see that half of you have used it, so we'll keep that brief, as well as what are agents basically, and why do we have two different agents as of right now. We'll go through what makes biomedical agent different and what can it do from a functionality perspective. I'll give you a very short prompt guide as well, so that when you go through our platform, you can prompt it in a particular manner to give you better results, accurate results, and where it doesn't end up hallucinating. And then we'll go through a few threads that I have prepared for you all. And post that, we can have a Q&A session. Okay, I'll introduce you SciSpace agents as of right now. So agent is basically different from the AI chats that we used to have, especially Chat GPT that many of you use. Instead of just having one chat window, an agent can perform multiple tasks. Especially if you look at our SciSpace agent, it is able to reflect, it's able to search the web, it's able to build a website for you if needed. It's all general based tasks, right? We have given it accesses to databases such as PubMed, Google Scholar, Archive. We have given it access to writing code and giving you a soft environment where you can experiment, prototype, and write your own research paper in LaTeX if needed in IEEE formats. It can do any single thing as long as you have the credits and as long as it is your prompts are verbose enough, it will keep on working. The reason we built out the biomedical agent is we realized a couple of months ago that biomed is something we end up uh, lacking at in our SciSpace agent from a general agent perspective. While we do have biomedical papers in our SciSpace corpus, we are not able to get and fetch those papers in the right manner in the agent to give you a good result. And that is what set us forth on this journey to building out a biomedical agent, which can, at this point, we have built out a lot, around 150 special tools that you can use, which I'll dive deep into a bit, and some software packages that are only relevant to this agent. Since the amount of data and tools are so huge, we decided that we'll split this into two separate agents. One will be a biomedical agent, one will be a generalized agent. What sets us apart as a biomedical medical agent is that if you give it a prompt, it will make a plan of action and it will go on and keep on doing granular small substeps to give you a specialized output at the very end. No need to get confused. We'll go through actual threads to show you how it actually works. But the idea is basically the set of tools that you can use here is totally different from what a regular agent has. For example, uh, what from what we expect, you do not need machine learning training models inside a biomedical agent. We want to focus more on the research perspective here, and that is how we differentiated the ideas here. So chemistry, physics can be in the regular agent, biomedical and bio, all genomics, biophysics, everything comes here. That's what we thought while designing all of this out. So yeah, what can the biomedical agent do? At this point, as I mentioned before, we have 100 plus biomedical software packages inside this. I'll name a few here. I've listed a few down as well as some tools that we have allowed this agent to have. Tools are nothing but some functions that an AI agent can perform. For example, ChatGPT these days has a Google search functionality, right? Where if you ask something to search the web, it can now search the web. Here, in a similar manner, we have given our biomedical agent multiple features that it can do and functions it can perform for you to help you in your research journey. The first one that we have thought of is CRISPR and gene screening. So the idea is that if you come in today and ask our agent what genes are essential in lung cancer, it will be able to query this data. We have actual data sets loaded for our biomedical agent. It will help you find what gene you're actually looking for in that particular question that you have asked. It can perform any analysis that you want to do on top of this. It's especially helpful for doing a drug discovery, and that is why we added this entire logic here. It's just one of the things out there. Uh, since SciSpace is known for literature review, and our main primary agent and our initial hypothesis and use case of our entire platform is built on a literature review perspective, we thought we'll add this here as well, but more from a biomedical perspective. As mentioned in the fourth point as well, since you see we have access to 37 databases, right? ClinVar, UniProt, clinical trials, Nomad. We thought that we'll allow literature review to happen in this manner here as well, where we make a plan and you can query PubMed, Archive, Google Scholar, like we can do in irregular agents, but more from a biomedical perspective, and give you a lot more in-depth knowledge when you are trying to write a literature review report here. Do note that since this is only from a literature review perspective, we might not have latex formatting or website creation inside this particular agent. It's mostly towards designing out the knowledge that you need, which is grounded with citations to ensure that hallucinations are minimal. Everything is a small substep. Everything is to ensure that nothing is missed out and nothing is made out of thin air, to give you the most accurate answer that we can. And that is what our entire thought process was while designing this biomedical agent. We also allowed for the primer designs. We thought that we could make flowcharts, and now if you put in a smiley string, it can design an entire flowchart out for you based on the actual workflow that you might have on a day-to-day basis. And to keep this short and not take too much time on this particular slide, finally, we have the drug discovery and docking, where if you're developing a drug and you want to see if it fits into the protein structures out there, we have AlphaFold, DivDoc, and all these features built out automatically inside our website and agent. Everything is chat based. You do not need to worry about anything. There are a few prompt techniques that definitely have to be followed for this, because this is a very research intensive task. And once you shoot it, it will just keep on working. So, for example, let's move to the next slide for this one. The prompt guides. This is something that is very important when you're using our platform for the agentic perspective. We have to be specific for our data. This is a field where you have specific formats like H5AD, matrix formats, which if you do not provide, or example, say a smile string, which you don't provide to the agent, it will think of something out of thin air, because we have designed it in such a way that it will give you an output no matter what, because we want to be able to show what this agent can do at this point. So if you miss something out, most likely we'll end up asking, but if not, we'll just end up giving you an example and show you the entire flow from end to end, which is not something that will impress you as much as working with your data itself. So please always, when writing a prompt on our platform, either be it regular agent or a biomedical agent, ensure that you're specific about the data. State your research question clearly. I see many a times I am guilty of this as well. We are writing a prompt like be thorough, be deep, uh, go through the web, whereas we don't end up asking it exactly what we want it to do. It would be better if you are able to tell you want to see the mutations for this particular gene. That is all you care for, nothing else. This will ensure you use less credits, as well as give you a proper answer where needed in the particular format you desire. Especially if you give output tables, right? If you tell you want a few graphs, you want a few pie charts to be created, a small report at the very end, we can do all of that. This agent is able to give you every single thing you need, as long as you're able to ask it in the first question itself. A single line question, generally not that helpful. A multi line question is very helpful. Do note that biomedical agent, once you run it, it generally takes 20 minutes, 30 minutes sometimes to give you the answer. So it does every single thing. It takes its time, but it will get you the answer no matter what. Uh, Always try to include context based on what you have worked on before. You can go into thousands of words if you really want to build out a big prompt. From our side, we have ensured that if you give us enough context, we'll be able to give you a better answer. From AI part, any prompt to give, we are trying to ensure we ground your prompt if possible. We try to improve your query if possible. And then we pass it along to the workflow that we have built in this agent itself. Because there's too many tools to choose. We don't want it to choose a wrong tool and give you a wrong output here. So we've ensured quality is our primary factor here when designing this biomedical agent out. And as for don'ts, as mentioned, don't be vague about the data at all. Do not forget to mention the biological context of this. If you do not give output formats, we'll just give you a proper one report out, and that might be it, but may not be what you're looking for. Or request analysis, as mentioned, without the data being attached, right? So that was it for the presentation. I would like to go into the demo because SciSpace is all about this agent is mostly about experimenting with all the data that you have and how you can use it in a day-to-day basis, right? So for people who have not used SciSpace, once you come to our platform, this is what you will see. In the all mode, this is a regular agent where you can come and type anything you are working upon. You can also, like, say, review literature, write a draft, and all these general generic things are right here in front of you. For a biomedical one, we have not given this small thing out. So how to do it? Come onto our platform. You can see this button here which tells you all or a biomedical. Biomedical agent is where you can come and use our biomedical specific agent itself. When you do this, it will always ensure that you enter into the biomedical mode of our platform. It will remove any distractions that you might have for the general agent and just work on the task that you have set. You can attach your files from here based on whatever you need to provide. For example, even if you have written a research paper and you want to find research gaps, this can do that based on what has happened in in the new papers on PubMed or any other database that we have access to. Or you can attach from a Google Drive. The limit is 50 megabytes or so for uploading. You can add a bigger file from your Google Drive as of right now. Okay. So I will show you some of the scripts that questions that I ran beforehand. I have divided it down into discovery, analysis, illustrations, and if we have time left at the end of this, an example for CRISPR as well. So this is one thing I had written out to see how the drug discovery can happen for a disease that is there, right? I will bring it down to give you an example of how it all looks when you start using this biomedical agent. So given a prompt that you paste in the SciSpace platform, this idea was basically finding the FDA approved drugs that could target a particular disease. And we gave it actual outputs and scenarios of what we need. This was without an attachment, of course. We wanted to see admit predictions. We wanted to see evidence from the last 5 years. We wanted to see everything that it can do. And you can see the first step that biomedical agent does is always ends up making analysis plan. There might be errors that show up here. That's basically that faced an error and it tried an alternative approach, or discontinued based on saying that we couldn't access a database. This mainly happens when we're trying to do a particular experiment and that fails here. We try to always fix that and move forward from there, and everything is shown in the outputs. So whenever you start the agent, there will be an initial step depending on how long this chat is. And then the steps start actually based on the plan that we have made. Everything will always show up on the platform like this on the right side to ensure that you're able to see what is happening in the steps. These steps come incrementally and are given at the very end here as well as shown on the screen. Everything is a report in this particular format. If you want, you can always, you see on this top, we have a bar for outputs and live activity. In the all files, that's what you will see when you're running a query by yourself. You'll see the steps which are exactly correlating to these files, and you can always come and see what's happening there, as well as the biomedical agent in itself, right? It will generate some outputs. So if you tell it to get mutations for a particular gene, it will end up going through some databases and getting you the mutations in a CSV format, for example. They will be attached at the very end in a file or can be seen in the outputs. If I'm getting ahead of myself, do let me know. I will explain this all in a slower manner. The idea basically is this agent can take steps one step at a time. As you can see, it did research through the web and the databases that it has access to and give you a small report in the beginning. Then it queries the databases that it can target for this particular query. For say drugs, how it actually works. It will always take some small substeps as well. For example, step 2, it query the database and then compile the known databases, drugs as well, from our internal databases. This idea basically is that our agent already has access to around 100 gigabytes worth of data, specific data that we have created for genes, for drugs, that keeps on updating on a set particular basis. But there always might be data out there on the web that we are not aware of. That is why this agent is planned to go and check in our local database for faster results, as well as checking on the web to see what might end up working better for your particular use case. And as mentioned before, when we asked for the drugs, we asked for nuclear envelope stability, the DNA damage response, and how to rank it as well with brain barrier penetration. All these steps are shown right here in front of you. You can keep on viewing all of them. It will come one by one. And it is everything in depth depending on what you asked in the query itself. What is important in biomedical agent is to ensure that your prompt is on point. Something we discovered while experimenting, as mentioned before, is if you do not give enough depth, it will end up giving you a wrong answer many a times, because it now assumed that you were asking for something else, not what you were asking. So the prompt, if it's good and in depth and you give it a structure, you'll always get a good answer, and will always get an answer that is grounded with all the information and research that this agent can do. So since we gave it how to rank, how to identify, you can see it found candidate drugs as well from the drug database, and then selected, ranked all the drugs based on the scores that we had given, with blood brain barrier, with FD adverse effects, all those scenarios, and gave a score here. And based on that, it gave the final top 5 analysis. And since we asked at the very end admit predictions for drug interactions, literature evidence from the last 5 years, it gave all of that as well. Everything will happen in the plan that it makes. The bigger the query, the better the plan. And that is what has happened here. And once everything is done, it gives us a task summary, which this is just the log of the action that have happened. Everything is in the outputs. And a final answer comes here on the left hand side of a screen, where it gives you an output example of what it has found, what is the composite score, and why it thinks that this drug, especially for the discovery clause, is best for your use case, and how you can build up upon this if that is the region you're working on as of right now, right? So that is basically the idea here. And as mentioned before, any file that this agent makes is attached here. If you want a deeper task summary, it builds out an entire report inside the task summary as well for the task that you've asked. As well as you can always follow up upon this with the follow up questions that are here. And you can get going in this conversation, get better answers, and keep on refining this entirely. Analysis is the second vertical that we have designed for this biomedical agent. The idea itself is to build on top of literature review that we already have in SciSpace. Our SciSpace literature review is mostly towards the generic literature review that we have built out before. So our idea here is to ensure that we're able to give you a better literature review and a better output, as well as a better report writing structure in this biomedical field. This might be something that you all might be working on as well. So we put all of our energy into this as well while writing and building this out. One thing to note is that unlike our agent, this also has the capabilities to do research gap finding for biomedical field itself, as well as giving you ideas on how what you can do next with your research paper and going with that. So let's come to the second query here regarding analysis, where the idea was to do literature review on a specific topic. This can be any topic. We here chose this topic in particular, and that's it. We went gave an entire search strategy here as well. Something that you would do on a manual basis. You type it all down. This agent can do it. That was the entire thought process behind all of this. Uh, you can give directions for analysis. You can ask for generating a Prisma diagram, summary tables, future research directions, as mentioned. All of this has been built out based on what we expect that you all might need, as well as we'll keep on refining this based on feedback that we keep on getting from your side. So this was the entire thought process while building the biomedical agent, especially the literature review part of it. So exactly like before, it will do a recency based literature review. That is what we prioritize for from the last 8-9 years, for example, and that is what has been happened here as well. It queries PubMed for you, makes an entire research based on that, so that you can see while it's happening what has happened here. And as you know that we asked in this query itself for the Prisma flow diagram, we asked for the timeline of field development, discoveries by year. Once we gave it all these things, the agent was able to go into the outputs and give you the images as well as anything else that you might need. So everything in this biomedical agent happens by writing code. Whatever you ask from it, it will write a piece of code that will ensure that you're not losing out by just agent forgetting what was talked about before. So if you think about it, one of the problems that we face, especially I have faced in the current market out there right now, say in Chat GPT, Claude, Gemini, all the regular general chatting apps that are there, we end up asking it questions and keep on talking in a thread over and over and over again, which generally is around 10,000, 20,000 words if it goes on for a longer period of research task. And it ends up forgetting what we talked about before. And that causes issues when you're working on a particular topic, right? Because you are now working with an agent which has forgotten what you were talking about before. Case in point for me, I generally end up making plans in one of those applications. And when I do that, how around 5-6 messages later, it has forgotten what we were discussing before. That is a problem that we have been trying to solve in this agent building output as well, which we believe will be helpful for you. So the idea here is, if you give a deep enough prompt like this, our initial plan should be in depth and detailed enough to ensure that when you ask something from this, it will be able to follow the plan to the T and not forget the original context. So a lot of our entire quality relies on the research plan that we're building out here. And when we do that, it is able to think step by step. For all of these steps, we just pass it the enough context of what it needs and a small snippet of what you have asked, the entire query, and how we can give you a proper output here. So the idea that a question that we always generally get is, how to identify hallucinations? What can happen if the model forgets what we were working upon? The idea here is that since we've broken this down into such a granular detail, you will always end up getting a proper answer. And the models that we're using internally will end up having enough context to give you a detailed answer for what you've asked for at the very end. Because each step is responsible for only one small thing and not the entire broad picture as general. So, to make it understand in a much more simpler manner, it would be like opening 14 new chat GPT threads and talking with each one with just one particular small part. But instead of doing that in a manual manner, this does everything in an automated manner to give you a good quality at the end of it all. So coming back to this, it does every single thing that we've asked for in the prompt for a literature review. It ensures that we are able to generate diagrams, give you a summary of tables as already shown. Okay. Yeah. So in the outputs tab, you can see when it's trying to create a Prisma diagram, which I'm aware is important in this field, you can always go and see all the outputs that it has done. In the literature review, of course, it will generate more outputs than needed than for the discovery, because we asked for more here. The prompt was bigger, and that's what we expected. We got analysis in diagrams. We got the Prisma flow diagram as well. If you want to, as you can see, there are some errors here in the placement. You just ask it to fix it, it will fix it. That's the entire thought process here, because the data flow is already there. You can even take this data and come and make a better illustration if needed. That also we have provided. I'll demonstrate that for soon. And everything, every single step comes and is storing an output, right? All these 14 steps that we have done, you see an output on the screen for what it has done in that step. Apart from thinking logging in the step output, it's creating files for you to peruse later as well. You can download all these files, open on your system, plug it into your current workflows that you're already using to for this to act like a research buddy and not a replacement entirely. That's an entire thought process here to give you a better research workflow, and it fits into your entire workflow entirely at this point right now without going into generalized agents or generalized workflows like our own agent or our competitors do, mostly aiming towards getting you grounded answers at this point. So this was our entire literature review uh, feature for the biomedical agent. You can even see, since we are, a task summary will be generated which tells you every single thing on what each step did. If you don't want to check each step, you can just run the task, come back in a while, read the steps, see what it did, and then go into initial substeps to see what else you might need to do. So this was the entire thought process for our literature review as well as a small research writing functionality. For research gaps, it's all inside the JSON. So if you want to see that, it will be in the step, and you will be able to get the outputs for that based on downloading it or opening it in your own platform or just seeing it inside the summary itself. So the research gaps is this much. It shows you all the research gaps it found for a query you have asked for and tries to save everything inside a CSV as well to give you a better analysis. So we're trying to help you out here in your exact current workflow and not overtake based on what you're already working upon. Now, finally, it's a very small final part of the agent. Apart from all the other workflows it can do, it has a lot of tools. You can run CRISPR folding and everything. One small tool we've added here from ourselves, another is generating illustrations based on what you have. So, for example, I just wrote a small prompt here. This is something you can already add into our biomedical agents outputs as well and give you an output here. So, for example, I asked here to create an illustration and you got an illustration based on that. Went with the breast cancer mutation gene and got the answers here. This automatically plugs and plays into a biomedical agent as well. So, for example, if you do an actual study and based on, say, literature review, and you liked something here, you can tell it to make an illustration and it will do that as well. If you want something specific to be made, everything works on the illustrations as well as any particular analysis that you're doing. It all builds out from there. And so, yeah, the main features for what we want to cover are discovery, as mentioned, analysis, illustrations. I'm not sure of the time. Deepak, do we have time for one more thing? I want to show CRISPR as well, if possible.
Yeah, sure. We can go ahead. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. So this is something this is an experiment. This is a bonus experiment to just show the capabilities of this agent, of how it can find genes, design sgRNAs, library constructions, every single thing in a small place. This, for example, it just takes around 45 minutes, 50 minutes to run. It is a computer intensive task on our platform as well. So if it just keeps on running for a while, do not get worried. It takes a lot of time to run. So the idea here is identify genes regulating PD-1 expression, and that is what we went with, just to understand and show what our agent is capable of. So this is in fact able to go through our data sets, is able to, as I mentioned, that we have our own particular data sets. It can load all of that on its own. We are showing you every single step being fully transparent, ensuring that you can see in between. If it's going wrong, you can stop the agent and always ask something else to fix upon that to ensure it keeps on running. My idea would always be to ensure that you try to start a new chat with the biomedical agent because it is a very research intensive task. And to optimize great quality, do not muddle its history with adding 1111 message. right? Just as I mentioned, a better prompt, a bigger prompt will always give you a good quality. It will always ensure that you're able to hit the actual questions that you're trying to answer, and it will give you answers based on that. If you run any 3D modeling here, we have set up enough compute that you can actually run AlphaFold logics here as well. You can fold a few proteins, 3D models of those. All of those have been defined in our entire platform. We have given out functions that might be needed on a general basis. For writing Python code, our agent can do all of that, give you an output, and everything will be shown here. The idea here is that, as mentioned before, everything should run based on your current workflow to give you an in-depth analysis of what you can do. You can, as always, go onto our platform, try it in the basic mode as well to get a better result and see how it works for free. There is no charge as of right now in the basic mode. It's a free tier and it will run. You're able to run any query, one or two, depending on how in depth your query is in the free tier, and you can see the quality yourself. There's nothing stopping you from trying that out here as of right now. So this plan is similar for every single thing that this agent can do. It can go through and perform actions, go through databases, run a few code scripts, run protein folding. CRISPR has its own data sets that you can utilize. uh, it will not be able to write custom code that you're giving yourself. We It is ensured to just think and make plans for what you're asking for in plain English, and will work based on that, and will give you an answer at the very end. The idea is to always build out a comprehensive plan. A good task summary will be given to you at the end, and then you can see if this is what you were actually asking for. And as usual, every output is given to you, every small step, every granular detail is given to you to ensure that the outputs are without hallucinations, or if any minimal hallucinations, the agent will keep on running. The one thing we request with everyone as I close this out is to, when you try it out, give it enough time. It is a intensive agent. It will keep on running for a while. It can take, as for this task, for example, while we were running this, around 45 minutes or 50 minutes of just plain runtime for this. It can run with the tiers that you end up buying onto a platform. And if on top of this at all, for example, you want to build out something from a regular agent as well, in all mode, you can just follow up in this conversation of, say, building out a website or giving you a research paper in latex format. On top of this research, it can do that as well by switching internally here itself and allowing you the best of both worlds. So that is all I had regarding the biomedical agent. I would like to open the floor for any questions that you might have here.